everyone. Welcome to our live hangout for Plyful. This is the August live event. So every month on Plyful, for those of you who are members, we're going to be having two live events. The first one is the masterclass, which we had 2 weeks ago, and we talked about mosaic crochet and how to do the increases for the mosaic cardigan. And today is the hangout, which is basically just a time to come, hang out, drink your coffee, do a few rows of crochet, and just talk about stuff that we care about, which is basically yarn and all the yarn stuff and crafts and whatever. And so yeah, thank you guys for coming. If you guys are here from the beginning and you don't want to stay until the end, that's fine. If someone comes in the middle, anyone's welcome anytime. Please feel free to use the chat. Hi, Chu. Please, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, where are you connecting from? I would love to hear from you. Use the chat as much as you can so that I know that you're there and so that our guests can get feedback from you too, because it's lovely to have kind of like a conversation like this, even though you are not here with me, we can still hang out together. And I think that's pretty cool about technology. So today I have three wonderful ladies that agreed to be live with me. And I am so glad. Hello, Nana from Bornholm. I don't know where that is, but that sounds foreign. Thank you for joining. And someone from San Diego. Wow, waking up early, Sheila. Thank you so much. I used to live in San Diego, and I miss it so much. From Maryland. Wow, thank you, Dana. Thank you for joining. So I was telling you, we have three ladies. They're all over the world. Hello from Portugal and from Panama. Wow. I just love that you guys are just coming from all over the world. So one of our guests is from the Philippines, and then I have two ladies from the US joining, and the three of them did the mosaic cardigan. They were testers, and I just think that they all have a very interesting perspective on crafting, and especially with this project. So I just really wanted you to get to know them a little bit more, and more selfishly, I wanted to get to know them better. So this is what this conversation is going to be, just me hanging out with three wonderful ladies and talking about crochet and crafting. So I'm going to bring each one at a time, and then we can just talk a little bit, and then we'll bring the next one. And that way, you guys get to know all of them. All right, Renee from Dallas, from Germany, Anne-Laure from France. Wow, thank you guys so much for joining. I just really love how international this community is. All right, guys, so I'm going to bring our first guest. This is Christy. So I'm going to share, let me see if I can share my screen, because Christy's feed is just so pretty. Let me see. She does the prettiest crochet projects ever. And her pictures are just so cute. She has the prettiest smile, and she does the prettiest crochet designs. I mean, projects. And look at that little girl. Oh, I love it. Okay, so Christy, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to bring you onto the stream. Hi. How are you today?
Hi. I was about to cry.
Oh, no. Christy, is that little girl in the pictures your daughter?
Yeah, she's 5.
Oh
she's
my
5 years
God.
old.
Oh, so cute. Do you make a lot of things for her too?
Yeah, it's quite easy to make crochet garments for little girls.
I know, right? So much faster. You're like, yeah, I'll whip another one.
Yeah. That's so
I totally know what you mean. So guys, if you want to know more about Christy, you can find her on Instagram at Christy Crafts whatever. And I just love the way you spell your name, Christy. That's so cute. And tell us, where are you right now? Because you're not home, right?
Yeah. We're actually traveling right now. So hello everyone. I'm Christy. I'm from the Philippines, and we're actually atop of a mountain. So
you're
just
on
look
a
for
mountain.
a better signal. We're having you're in a mountain. It's quite foggy up here. We're having some beers and wine upstairs, and it's quite a bit noisy. So I look for a quieter area here.
Wow,
So
that's
I'm from
great.
the Philippines. It's 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. here right now. So it's
That's
quite dark.
mental. Well, thank you so much for joining. That's so, so cool. I love the Philippines. I've been there once when I was a lot younger with an old boyfriend
Oh,
that I had, but I still have very, very lovely memories of El Nido. I don't know. It's one of a tiny island.
El
And
Nido. It's in Palawan. Yeah.
in
It's quite
Palawan,
famous
yeah.
for
Oh,
tourists.
I just loved
Yeah,
it. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
beautiful, and I'm dying to go back. But anyway,
Mhm.
so Christy, one of the main reasons that I wanted to talk to you is because you went through a surgery while you were testing the mosaic, right? Do you want to tell us about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I applied for the cardigan, knowing that my surgery will be in the middle of the testing phase. So I was quite confident I could finish it on time despite the surgery because I'll be having a month long leave after that. So yeah,
Okay.
so doing I started doing the swatch probably around 4 days before the surgery. I don't know if you remember, but I shared my swatch. I shared my swatch and I missed something from the instructions and I tried to check it with you and you said I did something wrong. That's why it looked so different from the one you posted. So I started watching while I was doing the final pre-surgery labs. So that was a weekend. That was a Saturday. I finished half of the cardigan before my surgery. So I brought it. It was like something I do to get off the anxiety. Because this is my second surgery. Although this was my second surgery, I had one last February, and then this was the second one this July. I had metal in my cervical spine, so it was fused.
Wow.
And then, so days before the surgery, I was doing the test. It was my first time actually doing mosaic crochet. I actually bought the jumper, but I haven't started a single. So this is I think some other pattern testers would kind of relate to me that testing helps you finish your whips because you have a deadline, you have a set deadline. So that's why I really wanted to apply and test for this design. So yeah,
Definitely.
I finished half of the cardigan a few hours before my surgery, and then after that I took probably 7 days to rest, and then
Yeah.
went back to it after I had my projo back. Yeah, so yeah,
Wow.
I'm very in right
Look at you. You look
now.
lovely. That's so cool. Well, I was talking to you earlier how when I had my last baby, I had a C-section, so I knew that I was gonna go into the hospital, and I remember exactly the project that I was working on. It was the stripy parvum magnum for my husband, and like I just every time I look at it, I kind of think of being in the hospital, and it sounds like it was a stressful moment, but like to me having that project to like distract myself is really helpful, and now the memories that it carries are very important. Like, do you think it helped you, or did it make you more stressed out that, oh my god, I have to do this?
No. It's quite helpful actually to get my mind off the of the surgery because you can't help but think what would happen because I was of course oriented with possible risks with the surgery associated with the surgery. So having something to do, having something else to focus on really helped a lot with my
Yeah,
anxiety. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
No
So I
kidding.
quite relate to what you said with you having the C-section.
Yeah. So do you think that now when you see the mosaic cardigan, are you gonna be like, oh my god, that was like my stress cardigan, or like do you have good memories from it? I hope they're good.
Yes, of course. I actually documented on everything and posted it in my Instagram. So yeah, it's quite memorable
Yeah, for
to say
sure.
the
That's
least.
so lovely. I do think the memories we make while we make something is one of the most important things about making our own clothes. That we carry those memories around, and like having, like, I traveled a lot a few years ago. I haven't traveled lately a lot, but like every time I made something new in a different place, it's like whenever I look at it or wear it, I still remember where I made it, or where I was or who I was with. And like, it's just
That's true.
so significant, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
talking to
that's
us
true.
about it. And what are you working on now? Do you have any projects with you?
Yeah, but it's upstairs. So I'm currently working on a graduation dress.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
graduating my postgraduate degree on Thursday, and I'm just starting on the sleeve. So I'm
Wow.
planning it right now.
Congratulations. What did you study?
Thank you. Business administration, master's in business administration.
Oh my God. So you're a mom, you're a student, you went through surgery, and then you still managed to test and finish on time. That's amazing. Like, I'm very impressed. I'm way too lazy to accomplish things like that. I'm like, yeah, I'll finish.
No,
I
no,
promise I will
no.
finish. All right. Well, I cannot wait to see that graduation dress. Will you please post it on Instagram so we can see it?
Hopefully, I could finish it on
True, that's the challenge, isn't it? Well, I mean, we've all stayed up and not slept for a while finishing something, so so I get it. Thank you so much,
time.
Christy. I'm gonna say goodbye to you because I know
Yeah.
you're traveling and it's the middle of the night. So go have a rest and have a great trip. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll talk later. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandra.
Bye,
Thank
Christy.
you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I just love that woman. She's so cute and lovely and friendly. I mean, everyone is, but it's just nice to have different perspectives. And definitely check out her Instagram, Christy Crafts, whatever. Just lovely stuff. Okay, then now we have Nicole. Nicole, are you ready for me? I see you crafting away. Oh, whoopsie. I think you're gone again. So Nicole is very, very interesting. And I just love her mosaic cardigan. She did a modification that no one else did actually, but it is in the pattern. Can you show us your sleeves, please?
How did I get so close up? Okay, so let's see. Here's my sleeve. Oh, let me put down my crochet. Here's my sleeve.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so I matched the upper section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just love that. I was really hoping, because when we were testing, someone mentioned adding that modification, and I was like, I don't think many people will do it, but you know what? I'll put it because it's a great idea. But then I was hoping.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it that it was that it was an option, I said, "Oh, I got to do that," because I'm all about the sleeve, all about the fun stuff of crochet, all the little detail stuff. So I was like, "Oh, I got to do that. I got to do it." So I was just hoping that I had the stitch count correct all the way around before I started.
You managed to match the stitch count. That's impressive.
I know. I was pretty. Yeah, I didn't have to modify anything. See that's where the seam is, and it worked out really well.
That works out so well. It's beautiful. Yeah, when I put on the instructions, I was like, there is no way I'm going to go and do maths for anyone. So if anyone wants to do it, they can just have a mismatched one on the seam, and it will still look pretty. But that's amazing that you managed to match it. So Nicole, tell us a little bit about yourself before we keep talking. Where are you connecting from?
I'm trying to adjust this so I'm not like my face is like in the middle. Like I'm so
That's
big.
fine. Okay. Last time I had a Zoom call with some friends, I used my iPad, which I'd never used for it. And it turns out that it has this thing where if you move, the camera moves with you in this like really creepy way. And then it gets really close to your face and you're like, what is this? I felt like attacked,
I know. What was the question again? I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. So tell us about yourself. Where are you from? What's your story?
Okay. I'm Nicole. I am, let's see. I live in San Diego, California. So we have that hurricane coming. I saw somebody else say that they're from San Diego as well. Hello, I think it was Sheila. Let's see. And so I'm in the very southwest corner, the most corner part of United States. I'm like right across from Mexico. So I'm
Oh,
like about,
okay.
I could, if I started today, I could get to
Is it
Mexico in
San
30
Isidro?
minutes. I'm sorry?
Is it San Isidro?
No, I'm in San Diego. So San Isidro is further down, but I could
Yeah.
get
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And like, I was just saying, I live in like a suburb of San Diego. And if I left today, I could be in Mexico, or if left right now, I could be in Mexico in 30 minutes. So it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy that way.
Yeah.
Let's see. So lived here my whole life, born and raised, but I do love to travel. But I just can't imagine living anywhere else, really. It's just so beautiful here.
San
And you
Diego's
know, you said
special.
you've been here. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I grew up. Sorry, my fan just turned off, and I am dying, so I need to plug it back in. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
ahead.
I grew up in Ensenada. So if you live in the
that's
area,
right,
you know. Yeah, and I went to
Yeah.
university in San Diego at Point Loma.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
Pullman University. Yeah.
yeah. So I
Knowing
lived
you.
close to OB for a long time, and I would have loved to stay in San Diego, to be honest. But then I graduated, and because I'm Mexican, I was like, oh, the whole visa situation was a bit of a drama. So I was like, you know what, I'm off. So I went to travel the world instead. But every time I go back to San Diego, I just love it. I love it. I took my girls there the other day. We were at Balboa Park last summer, and I took my husband. I've taken him a couple times, and yeah, it's probably my favorite place in the whole United States.
It's a great place to visit.
Yeah.
And it's super expensive to live here.
Oh.
Super expensive. So if my husband and I didn't buy such a long time ago, because I'm in my 50s, so if I didn't buy such a long time ago, there'd be no way I could buy a house now. I mean, it's so crazy, these little tiny little homes that are $1 million. And
I know, right? So Sheila, we have a comment. Oh, sorry. I think Nicole's internet is a bit funny, but she keeps disconnecting. Sheila, hi Nicole, how wonderful. I don't know anyone in San Diego who crochets. Don't worry, Nicole. So yeah, someone's saying that they don't know anyone who crochets in San Diego. And I feel like San Diego is one of those like hippie communities, but like, yeah, it could be maybe not that common. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, San Diego's so big. I have like a friend across the street who crochets, but she pretty much just does blankets. I'm trying to get her to explore more and to get out of her comfort zone of blankets, but she's a busy lady. So, but no, I really don't know that many people that crochet in San Diego. It's kind of sad. It's like, we don't have that many yarn stores here. We have, I think, like 5.
Whoopsie.
I got that alarm that keeps going off, and I don't want to turn it off, and I might lose you. So anyway, I live there's only like 5 yarn stores in San Diego. I'm pretty sure Sheila might know more if she comes back on and chats, but 5 big ones, and they do a yarn crawl every year. But that's about it. It's not like, I mean, such a big city, you would think that, but like you said, it's a hippie culture. We have like 7 or 8 universities here, so it's a lot of transient. We're a huge Navy town, so it's a lot of people in and out a lot of times. That's how my family stayed here, is because my grandfather was in the Navy and he loved it so much that yeah, because my whole family, my parents and everybody, they're from all over the United States. But
that's crazy. Yeah, when I used to live there, I would only shop at like Joann's or Michael's or something like that. So you find like big brand stuff, but not like the niche, specialty stuff.
We do have an apricot yarns. I think there's a couple of them, but apricot for some reason just stays in my mind. And but they're really small too. It's not like I just went on a little retreat last year to Chicago to my friend, a bunch of my crochet friends and I, that we started chatting online, and we went to Chicago, and it's just so many yarn stores.
Really?
I was like, how lucky are you guys? We went on like a little yarn crawl, and it was so cool. But
well, yeah, you get what you get, right?
I guess I have to leave. Yeah, I have to leave San Diego.
Well, we call it it said like yarn souvenirs, right? Every time I travel to a new place, you have to get something. That's just like a treat, isn't it?
I do that.
So Nicole, one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that during the test, I had the sleeves as short sleeves, and then the long sleeve was done with single crochet yarn, right? Yeah. And then I was single crochet stitches, sorry. And I was working on my sample, and I was like, not even, I know it's hot. I was at like 1/4 down my sleeve, and I was like, this is taking forever. I just don't think I can make the whole sleeve
Yeah.
with single crochet, and then another sleeve with single crochet. So that's when I changed it to be double crochet. But you
Yeah.
had already finished your whole sleeve, right?
Yes, I already finished my whole sleeve. But the problem was I was running out of yarn. I was thinking, how am I going to do this to get to the other side? I'm going to have to figure out something. Maybe I'll just do shorter sleeves. But I really wanted it to be long sleeve because in San Diego, this is my winter coat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is going to.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a winter coat. I have a bunch of cardigans. So when you said, and the funny thing is that the single crochet was, I don't know what I did. I must have did something with the count, but it was getting really tight. And
Okay.
I was going to have to rip it out anyway, but I was only going to rip it out like a section and then try to get it, figure out what I did wrong. But when you said you did double crochet, I was like, aha. And you know what? I am one of those testers that I don't mind frogging. I really don't mind frogging. And I usually have to once or twice because I just didn't get what they were saying, or, somebody came, I start too quickly and things get fixed and I'm like, oh, I got to go back and fix it,
Yeah.
But I love how you did the double crochet instead of the single crochet, because I think it matches the rest of the cardigan better.
I think so too.
Crochet.
And to be honest, like when I felt as well that my sleeve it wasn't like tight, but it's just the fabric gets a bit stiffer. Whoopsie. She'll be back. I feel like the fabric gets a bit stiffer with single crochet. I don't know if it's like, because the stitches are so much smaller. So I was telling Nicole that the fabric just felt a bit stiffer and like tighter, and I think that's what was happening to your sleeve. That because with single crochet, it's like the stitches are so much smaller that as soon as they started doing a double crochet, I was like, oh my god, like my arms can actually move so much better. And like with the short sleeve, the single crochet looks really cute and like kind of like stiff in a way with like structure. But you don't really want that with like a long sleeve, right? You want something comfy. Right. So you say you don't mind frogging. Tell us what's the worst frogging incident that you had to deal with? Because I mean, we've all been there, right?
Oh, we've all been there. Okay. Probably the worst frogging instance was I had to frog a whole yoke. I can't really show. I had to frog a whole yoke that had crisscross beading. Yes.
Beading.
Oh, beading and little tiny seed beads.
Oh wow.
I think they were like size 10 seed beads or something, super tiny, where we had to get them like I would get like 10 of them on my yarn and then just, grab one as I needed it. But so I had to frog and I pretty much put it over a bowl frogging, so I didn't have to like take every single bead while I was frogging, so I could just rip and my beads would just get into a big huge salad bowl. And what happened was I did something. I can't remember if I did something. It's so long ago. I can't remember if I did something or they changed because I was ahead of schedule. I was ahead of a lot of people. And something changed with the count. And I was like, I thought there was something wrong. So I just said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to start all over. But I'm glad I did because it fit much better and it looked much better. And I crochet pretty fast. So, because I don't have little kids anymore. My kids are adults. So, yeah, so I could get, a lot done in one evening. So yeah, that's probably one of the worst. Right now I'm working on a test where it's like a panel down below and then you add on top.
Okay.
And I made the two panels way too short. And I don't know, my gauge changed probably because it's a lot of slip stitching. So right now I'm redoing both panels. And it's all slip stitch panels.
God, woman.
I know, I'm crazy, right? My husband's like, all that work, you're just gonna frog it? Because he knows the terminology. And I'm like, yeah, because I frog all the time. No, I don't frog that much.
But I completely agree with you. Like I am against frogging when it's not necessary. Like if I made a mistake and I'm like, you know what? It's fine. If it's 1, 2, 3, it's like it's fine.
It's
but
in
if
the
it's
back.
Like, exactly. I won't see it. It's behind underneath my sleeve, whatever. But like if it matters for the fit, I am like completely in. Yes. Actually, I have this guy. This is what I have left over of my first mosaic cardigan sample. I had been working it as a round yoke cardigan.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I had finished the whole body and half of the ribbing, and it was like a long one down to my hips, and the ribbing, and I didn't like it. I didn't like
No?
it, and I left it for almost a year in a bag, and just it was sitting there until I decided to retake it for this one, and I completely changed the design, and I didn't want to waste all this yarn, so I
Oh, I
had to
don't blame
frog
you.
it. I
Yeah.
had to get rid of it. And
Yeah.
it was worth it. I don't regret any single decisions, but it is always really sad, you know?
It
It
is.
is.
But so I just started knitting this last year. I've
Okay.
always kept knitting and like, oh my gosh, this takes forever, you know. So but I finally said, Nicole, you're going to, that was one of your things, your goals is to learn how to knit. Let's do this, right? So I started knitting, and I did like a shawl. I'm not going to show you. It is like the scariest looking shawl ever, because the tension is all over the place, because you know when you're learning. Plus I started with fingering yarn, which is, I learned, not the best way to start when you're just learning how to knit. So then I did a couple of hats, and they're great.
Oh, whoopsie. We lost her again. I just started knitting a pair of socks, actually, and I was at my mother-in-law's house, and they were talking about how, sorry, you tell us the story. I tried to fill in with a story, and then you arrived too quickly. I was just saying,
I know. It's going out sometimes. I'm gonna try to show it to you. So
yes, please show it
so
to us.
I started doing anyway, I was feeling confident with my tension, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to do a garment, right? And so at the same time, one of my friends posted, oh, I'm doing a garment for the first time, and I said, so I DM'd her. I said, let's do it together. She goes, yeah.
Oopsie.
So problem, you cannot frog so easily in knitting.
No.
Oh, here it is. It's like this, it's like a yoke thing.
Okay.
So I'm up to about, yeah, it's really pretty. It's from Petite Knits. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was up to here, like about, I don't know, halfway through the yoke and the ribbing of the collar, which is like a, you know, turtleneck. I just said, screw it. Yeah, excuse me. I just started ripping.
Oh,
you know, I got all my aggression out, but it was good.
I've learned about putting a lifeline, actually, that really helps. So you basically knit with you put a thread or something when in a part where you think you might need to frog later. So you knit and you kind of like attach a thread to your needle. So you knit a row, and then you leave that thread there, so that when you have to frog, you'll only frog to that bit. Because the problem with knitting is like having to catch all the stitches afterwards, after frogging, is a pain.
Yep.
So adding that lifeline is super helpful. Sheila, I have a question for you. Sorry, Nicole, I have a question for you from Sheila.
Okay.
She says, Nicole, do you use wool or plant fibers mostly for your garments, given that the San Diego weather?
Oh, well, you know, merino wool is pretty much, I don't consider it really that warm. When I'm making something that I'm going to be wearing a lot of, yes, I will use plant-based fibers like cotton. I use some silk blend cotton. Or I tried to get my wool blend, like a wool and cotton or wool and silk or something like that. And I try to, if I'm going to use the wool, it's only fingering if I'm going to wear it. If I'm going to make something like this sweater in knitting, this is just leftover acrylic yarn I had because I didn't know how bad I was going to make it. So I thought I'll just use up some of this acrylic I have. So yes, I do use plant-based mostly in San Diego weather, because coldest it gets, like last winter was very cold and it was 55 degrees was the coldest day. So yeah, in the middle of the night it gets really, really cold, like 30 degrees, it could freeze. But you know, I'm asleep usually at that time. Yeah. So.
That's usually how it works at our age, isn't it? Yeah. Like, who goes out at night anymore?
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely. No, I completely agree with you. I find that wool, like, you know, good merino wool doesn't really get that, like, it's quite breathable, you know, in a way. So it's like, you get warm, but you're not like sweating. Like sometimes with acrylic, I feel hotter.
Yes, I agree. Like the plastic, whatever it's made out of plastic.
Yeah, agreed.
In in my mosaic cardigan, I used, what's great about this plant, I have to tell you, I was going to say this earlier. What's great about this pattern is it used up a lot of my leftover yarns or my remnants I just couldn't get rid of. So there's a lot of mixture of hand-dyed yarns and or just real, like more expensive yarn that's from the store. But that's all, this one's all merino wool or, like, or an 80-20. So, superwash. Except for this part, the like coral color or terracotta or whatever, that is actually a cotton
Oh, look
that
at
I had
that.
left over, and it worked out really well. I was
It
like,
does.
but it,
No, yeah, I think scrap savers are definitely the best. So Terry says, "Hi everyone from Pennsylvania. I'm working on the beautiful mosaic cardi right now. It's going great." Terry, what materials are you using? Sorry, Nicole, I'm just asking Terry about the materials that she's using because she's
okay.
using the mosaic cardigan. Are you
Nice.
using your stash or are you working with like a whole of new yarn? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I'm real excited because I have enough leftover yarn from other projects that I'm going to do the full jumper.
Oh, wonderful!
And I'm so excited about that one because this was my first experience with mosaic crochet, and I was very scared, but I thought the best way to do it is in a testing because there's all these other people that I can ask questions.
Yeah.
And Sandra, you're like one of the best people to test for because even though you put your hours in, I'm not going to be able to work this. You answer like right away, and you're across the, halfway. You're across the board from me, and I would get questions answered. Yeah, you're one of the best. Oh, I just love testing for you. So,
Thank you.
Anyway, well, and also your patterns are top notch. So,
Thank you, love.
usually all the answers are in the pattern anyway.
No, but it's very intimidating though, color work. So I understand, like, I was a little bit like scared about how many people were gonna apply, but like, I'm so glad you guys went for it because there were quite a few mosaic newbies. So I'm so happy.
Yes, and don't be scared of mosaic, ladies. It is, and ladies and gentlemen, I should probably say, it is beautiful, and it's so much easier than you think.
Yeah,
and it's so much fun. Yeah,
that's it, isn't it? Because you're like, I can't wait to finish this chart, and then I can't wait to see the next one. But wait until you work on the jumper because the jumper uses a different technique that works in the round only, and that one is like, if you think this mosaic is easy, the other one is so much easier. So it just flies off, and it's so easy. So you'll love it.
I'm excited. Yeah, so that's my next Sandra project or Nomad Stitches. I made a lot of your things. Wonderful. I'm actually making your crochet along project. I'm making that right now.
Vesuvius. Sorry,
Vesuvius. Nicole, yes, I was trying to think. It's one of the big volcanoes. What is it called?
Yeah, the volcano T-shirt.
You have a theme there, Sandra. You have a theme. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The Vesuvius. Good. What are you using cotton for that one?
I'm using a bamboo cotton blend. Yes, because I want to wear it here in San Diego all year long. So, but it's really, really, I just love the stitch. And it's so much fun to make. And it's going to be boxy and nice and comfy. I love it. I already have a pair of pants. I have like these flowery plant pants I'm going to be wearing.
Really? I love my flowery pants that I use for my photo shoot, but they don't fit me very well. I got them off Vinted, very cheap. And I was like, you know what? They're secondhand. I'll just wear them for the photo shoot. And I totally cracked one of the, the pleats that they have.
Oh, yeah. You ripped it.
One of the photos. I sat down and I was like, what is that? So I couldn't even sell them back because now they're cracked. But
rip out the other one on the other side and you'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I need to undo the other one exactly, and then and so look even. I'm so naughty. I haven't worked anything of mine. I kind of forgot about it.
Oh no!
I was doing it for the cow, and then I was just like, "Oh yeah, the cow's finished."
It's so pretty. I like.
I probably should.
Yeah, you should do it.
I know you're giving me I started like 2 other projects in there as well. I'm horrible. All right, Nicole. Well, thank you so much for coming. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
Hold on. I think you're a bit stuck, so I'm gonna bring you back in. Oh, I think your camera is doing something funny, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming. It was so nice talking to you. You guys, if you want to see more of Nicole's projects, find her on Handmade by Yarn Mama. I love that name. And on Instagram as well. She has loads of beautiful tests that she's done. Okay, next up we have Diane. Now, Diane is an amazing friend. I love her so much. She's been so helpful with me as my business, a personal person, as a person, but she's also a great tester and just like great at giving input. And she has a very, very interesting input on crafting because she's left-handed. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Diane. No, not Nicole. Let me change. This. There you
That's
go.
not me.
Hi, Diane. How are you today?
Although I love listening to Nicole. She's such a hoot.
I know, right? Oh, I love you. You California girls are easy to talk to.
No, good.
How are you today, Diane?
Good. It's a little early for me. I'm also in California. I'm in Northern California. So just kind of waking up still.
Not too hot for you today?
Today not as bad as it's been. But it's going to start to get hot again starting tomorrow. So we're talking like 90 plus degree weather.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know what that translates to.
Yeah, I think
Celsius,
that's like 40 degrees or so, 35 or something like that. That's really hot. Like today, I think for us, it's like 27, which is, I mean, less than 90, a lot less. And I am boiling. I'm just not used to the heat anymore. Yeah, so I'm going to struggle with life whenever we leave England, but we'll see if we ever leave. Diane, what are you working on at the moment? Are you working on anything fun?
I'm actually not working on anything at the moment crochet related. We just rescued a cat, so we've been dealing with that.
How come the break? Are you very busy at work?
Work has been busy, but we also rescued a cat recently, so we've been taking care of her, and she turns out she's deaf. So we're kind of spending a lot of time just taking care of her right now, and so just needed a little break. Every so often, I just need a break, you know.
It's true. It happens to me too. When I just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna stop. You know, yesterday my husband came home with a 1,000 piece puzzle and a jigsaw puzzle, and I was like, "Are you crazy?" Because it's for my daughter, it's for Maggie. But I was like, "This is like I'm obsessive, and now I can't stop working on it." Like we started last night, and I'm just like, I want to finish it, and I'm thinking maybe I need to take a break from like crafts and just like focus on a puzzle for like a few days. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes it's just nice to have something else. You know what I mean? But then. But then I'm afraid that I'm gonna like get a new hobby, and then it's like, what am I gonna do with life? You know, how am I going to actually get things done?
Yeah, it's also been so hot, and it's just I don't know, like just sitting on my couch and crocheting and sweating is just not very inspiring right now.
Crocheting and sweating.
So but I'm sure I'll get back into something. I think I might redo I know you re-released the Sweetheart pattern now with ribbing. So I did that pattern a while ago. So I was thinking about doing that in a cotton and seeing how that turned out. So
that would be fun. That's nice for like warmer weather as well, because you got quite a bit of breathability with the fabric. You know? Not too hot.
Not too hot.
Yeah, exactly. So Diane, I always go to you for my left-handed tips. Now, how did you feel about working on the mosaic being left-handed? Was it like complicated to follow the charts and everything?
Not really complicated. I think at this point, I mean, I've been crocheting on and off for over 20 years. And so you kind of just have to learn to adapt, right? Especially when I first started, when I learned, I literally sat in front of a friend who is right-handed and I just mirrored what she did. She just taught me a couple of stitches and then I just kind of taught myself.
Okay.
And so you kind of just learn to figure it out and, basically invert everything. But I think the challenge with initially when I was testing your pattern is there are certain sections with like the front, shoulder areas that you're needing to fit, you're needing to start crocheting. And, I think for the right shoulder, it was going in one direction, for the left, it was the other. So, but it ended up being reversed for left-handed crocheters. And it took me a little bit of time to kind of figure that out. And I don't know, I get a little weird about asking questions sometimes in the group, especially when you're testing in a group. And so many people are just so fast and they just seem to know what you're doing and trying to keep up with all the communication. You're like, oh, did someone already post this on here? I don't know. And so I try to figure it out on my own. Occasionally I'll finally ask a question, but yeah, it turned out that needed to be reversed. So working that section, and I saw also for your Vesuvius, because I saw a few people on your Facebook groups, a little confused about that section, is all of that instruction needs to be just reversed essentially for the left-handed crocheter. And then if you can see some of the designs like this, it's actually reversed, right? So it looks a little different than what
your
a right-handed person.
Sorry,
I'm
just gonna hide you for a second and bring you back up, because I think your camera got a bit stuck.
Okay.
Are you there?
Can you see me
there
now?
You are.
Yeah. All right.
So your charts are reversed than mine.
Some of them are like this one right here. So if you look, the pattern's it's kind of going in the opposite direction. It's still great. Yeah. So that's one thing you'll notice with mosaic crochet. But other than that, I think the rest of it is pretty standard. It's just, one of the things I've learned.
So you still read the charts from right to left, but you work from left to right. Is that
correct?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would do my head in.
Now, I don't know, maybe other left-handed crocheters do it a little different, but that's what's worked for me.
Okay.
I'm still following the direction of the written pattern, even though, or I'm reading the chart in the direction. Because sometimes not all charts necessarily will end the same, if that makes sense. So it's just easier to follow from right to left, but I'm crocheting left to right. But everywhere else, it should, you're not going to see any big, everything else looks exactly like if you were right-handed. But there are going to be a few little charts where you're like, oh yeah, that looks different. But it's unique, it's your own little spin on it.
Yeah. Well, Anne Laura over here is saying, thank you, Diane, from a lefty too. I think you're definitely not alone on this one. And to me, it's just, I don't know if my brain just like, I struggle with directions. Like when someone says go to the right, I'm like, which one is my right? Like I think I'm just not very spatially aware. And whenever someone asks me a question like, how does a lefty do it? Like I honestly just really struggle imagining how it works. And I'm working on a new pattern at the moment, which has a similar construction to the mosaic. And I kept thinking like how to write this so that left-handed people could know how to end up in the right place, like you say, right? So it's like you start on one side and then you suddenly end up with the yarn on the wrong end and then you can't continue. So you have to cut and attach your yarn again, which is it's not like the biggest thing in the world, but like it's better if you don't have to do this because it's designed so you don't have to do it, right?
Right.
I was like, how am I gonna write this for a left-handed? And I seriously like I got a headache thinking about it. Like I kept like drawing it and like picturing it like, okay, so you go on this direction and then you go in this direction. Like I just it was just so hard for me to put myself in your shoes. I felt really bad. But it's such a simple thing, but it actually like matters so much, doesn't it?
It does, because there's a lot of left-hand crocheters out there, and I think we've all just kind of had to learn to adapt unless there's a designer that specifically designs as a left-hand designer. And I know there's a few out there that will actually write their patterns for righties and lefties, but I think those are very rare. And also maybe they can do it with both hands. But I think, we've learned to adapt and just read it. And the only thing I can suggest, and maybe some of the other folks on here who are left-handed do the same, is really just read the pattern, read it. I know that's something that a lot of designers always recommend, And I've been guilty of just like diving in, but really, really, really read everything, and even go as far as like test little parts that you're not sure of. Because nothing worse than like getting to a section and you're just completely stuck and you have no idea, what to do. But thankfully, your patterns have been pretty straightforward, like it's pretty easy to kind of figure out, okay, I think I just need to do this. There, like the secret garden pattern, when I tested that, I had a hard time with the straps because of where things were ending, that I had to do a lot of cutting and then rejoining just to get everything to fit correctly in a way where it made sense for us. Because sure, as we were crocheting as a right-handed, all the pieces laid out perfectly to create the top, like the yoke, right? But as a lefty, like I had to actually like flip things around, and then but the instructions didn't quite end the way it would work for a left-handed crocheter.
Yeah.
So things like that, you just have to get really creative sometimes and problem solve.
But see, like I think with those, I have a really hard time picturing it. Like how it works for someone else, and like and I think that's one of my issues, and I need to work on it. Like left-handed people don't have to adapt to me. Like it's my job to help, and to like create things that are inclusive for everyone. So like I need to learn how it's done, but it really, really is hard for me. Like the whole going backwards, like it's just, yeah. It feels wrong. Like the first time, that stitch, the crab stitch that you kind of work backwards. So I remember the first time I saw someone working that stitch, and I thought I was like dreaming or something. Like I was like, what is that? Like it just looked so wrong to me. And it took me so long to figure.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
I don't know what happened. It all sounds a bit funny. Oh, goodness. I don't know if you guys can see me. Okay, well. Hi. I can't see myself on the stream. I'm not sure if I'm in there. Yes, you can. Can you see me? Yes? I can't see myself, which is weird. But if you can see me, if you can let me know. Okay, you see me. Yay! I don't know why I can't see myself, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I think we're going to stop there because apparently the technology decided to stop working. I'm not sure what happened there. I am really, really sorry about that. But Diane, Christy, and Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. It was so nice talking to you, getting to know you guys better. Thank you to everyone who joined. It was so nice to have the chat going and you guys commenting and being part of this conversation. That was so fun. And for anyone who would like to watch this again, or if anyone missed it, you can obviously watch it on the website. And I'm also going to have this on my YouTube channel. Any sneak peeks for next month? Unfortunately, I cannot show you anything because it's not my design. It is a design by Linda Skuja. And let me see if I just find a picture real quick so I can show you a cheeky little sneak peek. All right. Would you like to see? Oh, these are just so good. Oh, you guys are going to love it. Okay, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. I don't know what to show you. I feel like all the pictures show too much. Maybe this one. This is the least. Oh, it's just too good. Okay, I'm going to share that one. Whoopsie. Let me see. There you go. So this is our picture, our next contribution by Linda Skuja. It is a lovely jumper, and that's it. That's all you get. But I will be sharing everything in like a couple of days, so don't worry about it. Everyone will find out soon. Linda is amazing, and she will be teaching a class next month as well. So all the dates will be out at the beginning of next week, or maybe mid next week, because at the beginning of the week I'm a bit busy. But middle of the next week, you will find all of the dates for the masterclass and all of the dates for the hangout. On the next hangout, we're going to be interviewing her. So it's going to be all about her life and her process and this design in particular. So I'm really, really excited to get to know her better. And she's going to be teaching a masterclass so that you guys know exactly how to do all the cables in her design. So I'm really, really excited about that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for all of you who have joined Plyful, who have been supporting us, who have been just such a wonderful, wonderful like companion and friends and customers and just, yeah, everything that you do. It is so appreciated by me, by my family, by my kids, by my husband. So thank you for being here. I'm seriously so happy with the way it's been working out. And I can't believe the designers that I have. So I'm going to give you just a little sneak peek of the lineup. So we have Linda Skuja. And after that, we have B-Ray, which is Laramie Loops online on Instagram. And then it's me again in November. Then in December, we have Creaciones Ananda, who is this girl from Chile. She's amazing with color. We're amazing with everything. We will also have, Tinderbox. And I also have Coco Lee Crochet. I have Alina. I forget her last name. She's from, I want to say Norway or something like that. We have such a good lineup of wonderful designers, and I'm sure you guys are going to be so excited with what they bring to you guys. So thank you for being here, and thank you for sticking around, and I will see you soon, okay? Bye, everyone. Have a great Saturday.